streaming. Okay, I think we're getting through to restream. 7K FPS. We're not yet on Twitch. Are we on Twitch now? I don't know. It still says offline. YouTube thinks we're there. Okay, I think we're on YouTube. We're not on Twitch. Restream thinks we're on Twitch. Twitch doesn't agree. Why do they disagree with each other? Twitch. Am I not in the right Twitch account? No, I am. It says I'm offline. Something isn't right. If anybody here is on Twitch, can you check if things are working there? Let's see. No, still says I'm offline. That's not good. That's not good. Come on, Restream. Restream says everything is fine. Can I see something about the stream health, perhaps? Disable it and re-enable it. Come on. Can I toggle this while we're streaming? I hope I can. No. Okay, why is Twitch offline? It says, okay, so Restream says I'm streaming to Twitch. It's the right channel, but this isn't. It says offline. Here it says live, and here it says offline. That's a bit strange. Are we live or are we offline? What's going on? All right, let me send the chat message through, see if that works. Is there ever a stream where there aren't some issues? Okay, the chat message goes through. Here it says live now. And here it says offline. Twitch, live and offline somehow. What the heck? What the hell? How can I be live and offline at the same time? Come on. You're live. No, just stream is currently offline while I'm live. Yeah, exactly. How can I fix it? Firstly, to refresh study, have you input your Twitch stream key into labs? Yes, I refreshed multiple times to see through Microsoft and that worked. Let us try. I think I have a plugin for multiple outputs, except I don't. Here, multiple output. If I add Twitch and just say start, failed to connect to stream, is maybe my Twitch key my stream key different? Stream info. Settings. Stream. Can I do that here? Let's see. Okay, start. Failed to connect to stream. Is it because I'm already connected, but I'm not connected? Okay, wait. What if I disconnect with Restream and then connect with multiple output? As long as I don't mess up my YouTube connection, I should be okay. Is that doing anything for Twitch? It says we're transmitting at 60 FPS. This doesn't look like 60 FPS. This still looks like offline. Yeah, it's always something. Okay, how can I be connected and transmitting and also be disconnected and not transmitting? The dashboard, the stream manager says I'm offline, but the channel says I'm live. Twitch is yeah, rush multiple times. Tried to see the stream through Microsoft. No, neither worked. No stream to stream. We rushed the key, but didn't work either. I don't know why. I find getting a new stream key helps. Sometimes I need to do 2 times. So maybe I need a new stream key. God damn it. Well, let's get a new stream key. And modify. Okay. Stop. Start. Let's try this again. And thinks it's something changed. It flashed. Okay. I'm seeing something. Can I update this? If I go and restream, it probably won't be able to connect, right? Like something happened, it flashed. It gives me a bitrate now, but it still doesn't give me an image. If I stop the multiple output and then from restream, it says streaming. And on Twitch, it still shows nothing. Are you kidding me? Now it says offline again on the dashboard. 1 second. Edit channel. There doesn't seem to be any way of configuring the settings here. On Restream, I don't see where I can configure. Maybe I have to disconnect first. Is it because I'm just connected directly? Settings, full links, upgrade now, stream. No, that's how to get 2 channels. Yeah, I need help. Nope, that's not helpful. Restream, enter Twitch key. Where do I enter the key? Stream to Twitch, come on. Where do I configure? Add channels, choose Twitch, authorize space permission, manage that stream key. Okay, so it just does the stream key management without a stream key. Except it doesn't work. Oh, maybe it works now. All right. I stand corrected. Maybe it's working now. My stream channel manager still doesn't show me. Except now it does. Okay, well, I guess somehow we're connected now. Well, that was a bunch of fuffing about. Hey, Chinstrap. Hey, Matooks. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube, but I wasn't live on Twitch, and God knows what was going on there. Okay, alright, so today, the final steps to get the Project 9x9 custom layouts ready. So, where am I at? So I think I've set up these layouts, but I hadn't set up the styling properly. I think the first layout had some weird, yeah, the buttons were all over the place. So I think I don't even want whatever styling I had on the first layout. like if I look at the second layout, that's perfectly fine. So the first layout, we kind of want it to be... Ooh, is there a problem with that? Yeah. Okay, so let's also keep track of a to-do list. So fix -1 styling. Fix positioning on window resize. I think it's probably not just that. It's probably when it switches from portrait to maybe if it switches suddenly, it doesn't force a refresh or something. Also, we now have a lot of these things here, so we probably want to compactify them. I think the style sheets are basically the same now. I don't think I want a different style sheet for the first. So I think these are all the same. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a default style sheet and default style. And then we're going to kind of adjust those for each individual layout, so we don't have so much stuff here. So default settings. Now the problem with the settings is I think this needs to be a key value thing. So we might have to change it to that first. And then we'll have default style sheet. Right. Let us go to where we're loading the layouts here. So settings, set settings, and set settings currently uses the key value list here. I think we want to do object entries. And then down here, because then we can, with object assign, can override these more easily. And then we'll probably want to do something like this. And then we'll just do that. Right. Should I do a search replace? I never know at what point doing a search and replace will be faster. You know, by the time you've selected what you want to work with, and all that, versus manually doing it. Here, probably a search and replace would have worked. All right. So if I do this, we'll get our thing here, our bar at the bottom. And it's loading so slowly. What's going on here? What's taking so long? Probably the server restarting. Okay. So the layout here is still off because we haven't updated that. Right. Now the layout 2 shouldn't work now because it's in the wrong format. Or am I barking up the wrong tree here? Set settings. Let's see. So, set settings, and this. Let's make sure the data looks the way I think it should look. Change setting. Key value, object of entries. Change setting 0. Wait, what? Key value. Key. Get setting key. So change setting S would be key. Key would be 0. Get setting 0 would gets me this. What? This is bizarre. No, okay, so this makes more sense. Why is it? Okay. I think we also currently all these settings should be more or less the same. So false, 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 false. So false, 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 false. Excuse me. False, hide support links, true, true, false, true. Okay, so this is going to be our default settings for now. So we'll do that and that. And then we'll just do this for all of them. Like that. For now. And then some of them will be a bit different. Oh, and I've only done 4 so far. Okay, let's simplify it first. And that should get us going with these 4. And where was our set settings here? Okay. Now, one of these, for example, one of the main settings differences would be the calculator. So if I think I can do this, and I say advanced killer calculator on or off. Now the killer calculator isn't a setting per se, or maybe it is. So if I search for killer calculator, so we have this toggle, handle setting toggle. So it's set up as a tool, but this is organized as a setting. So if I do framework.get setting and do this, it's true. All right. So which one is supposed to be on? The 5th one. Okay. So if I go to here, so we don't even have a 5th one yet. Okay, before we do this, let's do the style sheets as well. So I think these are all the same at the moment. So we'll just take this here for a sec. Call this our default style sheet here. Right. And then we can just say style sheet, default style sheet. And let's move this underneath the settings. Settings are slightly more impactful. And then I think these would be all the same. And then our block here is a little bit more compact. And then we can remove any ones that we don't want to explicitly set up here either. Okay, so let's try the 5th one here. So we'll do the 5th one. And the only difference between 4 and 5, if we look at this, layout 4 and 5, is, so they have the same tools set up, and it's literally just the calculator. Okay, so if we say object.assign like this, and then we'll say whatever that setting was, tool calculator. All right, whatever. And we'll do that as a true, and then make the default false. Tool calculator false. All right. So if we do this, and we'll go have the 4th here, and then have the 5th here. So this one doesn't have the tool calculator showing. Except it's true. And here it's, one sec. And here it should be false. Yes. So it being true isn't enough. I think we need to actually toggle it, unless it being true on load is enough. And now it's not loading at all. What's going on? Okay, what I don't know is if the tool calculator is like disabled from some other aspect of the changes, right? because it's not showing up here. So it could be that it's just disabled by style sheet, basically. Okay. Where does the killer calculator usually live? I'm not entirely certain. Let's see if we can find out. So under attach element, this is going to be a big old mess. Here we go. So this is where the actual UI lives, but the... Oh, wait, no, that should be okay. So why is it up here? Why is it basically disappearing off screen here? Is it in a place that's... Let's do this without the layout for a sec. As a reference, right? So if I go settings and do advanced killer calculator on, it goes here. And it's part of what? Of controls. Okay. We do have controls here. Oh, but they have no size. Why is that? Okay, so the controls are getting getting moved. Refresh layout. Handle resize. Controls. Orientation. Let us see. Let's just remove a bunch of this stuff and see which part is responsible for that part of the UI. So here we have it. Set tools and controls, maybe one of those. No. Maybe not settings. Probably refresh layout, I would imagine. And if I get rid of refresh layout, it's gone. Okay, so refresh layout is what's responsible. And refresh layout probably just calls handle resize, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right, refresh layout. And we probably want to do an off and on first here, so we don't have multiple issues. But actually, I'll put that here. Just so we can debug any double event handlers, which can happen very easily. Okay, so align controls is probably what does it. Center board, align controls, and align controls does a bunch of stuff here. Let's see. All right, well, we know it's happening. We don't know exactly what it does. So we're resetting these styles for object assign style for these three elements, right? So this is controls. Okay, so why are we doing this full reset here? And this is basically, it gets reset to the top left and then we're manually placing it, except controls just stays up there. Do we really want to reset controls? Like if I remove controls from here. Okay, so then, so it resets controls to the origin and then manually places the other parts, I guess, down here. Unfortunately, the killer character is part of controls. So it would be probably best if we left controls where it is naturally, or if we put controls where this panel goes. All right, before we do all this resetting here, let's cancel this out for a second. We're gonna have to we're gonna have to visualize some things. Hey, Tiny Tails. Today I'm gonna finish off the multiple layout customizations for Project 9x9 because they actually need it now for their students. So this is high time, and the system has been kind of languishing in a sort of half-done state for way too long. All right, so we can say, for example, object.assign co.style, and we'll just want to say something like outline 5px solid magenta. Like if I do this, it'll show us where the controls are. Right. So that's our controls. And I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna make it dashed. So that's controls. CI is controls info. And then the last one, CB, is controls buttons dashed green. All right. So what the current layout system does is it basically moves controls to the upper left corner and then manually places the other parts. So it can move this over. And the problem is this, the killer calculator, is actually placed within the controls box. So what if I were, instead of moving the buttons directly, I move the controls windows to where I want the buttons to be? So before we do this reset, we can get these. No, because I do the reset. So here, when I do the reset, right, everything gets moved up here, and then I kind of start over from scratch. So if we don't do the reset, we have all sorts of problems, right? I was trying to do something efficient here. Big error, big mistake. Efficiency is always the enemy. Okay, so here we do a bunch of calculations. And until here, nothing happens yet. There's a setting. What's it called? The setting that on startup, don't pause and start on. If I do this and refresh, yes. Okay, that's gonna be so much less annoying. So if I set a transform here, it'll rescale it. Okay. We do a transform reset. Back to transform. Yeah, so the problem is we need to do the reset first to get pristine measurements, basically. So we do have to do the reset. Otherwise, all these measurements aren't going to come back with the right numbers because it'll have been already transformed, right? And it's basically what I do in the original resize algorithm as well. I basically remove the previous resizing, get the measurements, and then use the measurements to calculate the actual position where it needs to be, right? So I don't have to do a relative calculation relative to the previous transform, which would be a huge pain in the butt. Maybe the trick is then to simply do it even... Oh, wait a second. I changed something now. Changed something. I changed the order. I moved something. Is this gonna be working? Excuse me. Wow. What did I change? Wow. Okay. What we might have to do is we might have to move the controls to the same position as the green region. And the green region is CBEL, which is this. So if I do this for CO, it goes there. Oh, but I can't move it because I'm dependent on it being there because everything else is positioned relative to that. Oh god, okay. Unless I position them absolutely. Except They are positioned absolutely. So why are they positioned relatively when they're supposed to be positioned absolutely? So this is positioned absolutely. But it's positioned relative to this. Even though... God damn CSS. Is there a position relative somewhere? It doesn't matter, right? It shouldn't be... If this is absolute... board... No. So, controls, right? Position, transform, none. It's right there. Position absolute. Left, and then it has this, right? But it moves all of these. Oh, wait, why is this position? Position absolute, it just overrides absolute, okay. Controls info is left 48. If it's 0, it would be there. Okay. Why is this absolute to the other one? If I do this fixed, is that what we want, maybe? Maybe that's what we want. Like, if we do this... Okay, that's better. Controls is still... It's this little thing here. And if I don't do these movements, where does controls end up? So I think right now the problem is controls doesn't have a sizing because of the flex layout. So if... yeah, so the buttons width here, that's what we really want, right? Because this, the green box doesn't have dimensions assigned because it just adopts the dimensions of the other items in it. But CB, we have the CB bounds. And we're taking the height here. Bounds. So if I say something like this, that should give us the dimensions of this box, which we then can adopt and assign it the controls, which then should put the calculator into the right position. Okay, so I think this is the one that I've added, and let me just double check this, because if I get this wrong, it's going to be a pain in the butt to come back to it. Yeah, so let's do CO first. Right. And let's say we'll do width, you know, 100 px. Let's see how it likes that, what that would do to a magenta line here. Okay, so if we make this cb bounds.width, something like math.round cbounds.width, like that, right? It doesn't put it in exactly the right spot, because I believe it is probably offset on purpose by a small amount. Let's see if we can find the amount here that it's offset by. Left -8. Left -8 rem with 18. Yeah, so this should be 9 rem. So if we do... Alright, document.query selector. If maybe I should just put this into the style sheet. So if I say kilocalc on screen, and I'll say margin left -1 rem. Nope. Kilocalc on screen. Killer calc on screen, margin left -1 rem. Margin left 50%. It gets overridden because that happens later. Do we have something here? If I do dot layout 9x9, if I prefix that just to override the specificity and all that. So now the margin gets applied, but it overrides the other margin that I probably still want. This is weird. Margin left. Yeah, no, it needs to be margin left. Left -8 rem. So it's just left -9 rem. Because I'm already using margins here. So that should center it correctly, right? Okay. I don't know if this is the cleanest version of this. Because of course, if I could move more of this into CSS, it might be more robust in the long run. But now we can at least compare to number 4, no killer calculator. Number 5, we have, right? If I go to 3, we don't have. And if I go to 5, we do have, right? I'm gonna, for now, add that setting I just set. What was it called? No pause on start. I'm just gonna add that for debugging. So we don't have to deal with that. Good. There's a bit of a flash of things moving around. I'll have to see how I can deal with this. If I do this, and I'll go back. If I move this out, I don't think the resize happens. Or maybe it happens at the wrong time. Okay. If we go to here, and then we'll do that, and we'll do this, and then we'll do this and this, and this. Okay, and if we do this, we get a handle resize, but somehow it's different. Great. Huh. Well, let's see what the orientation says. Okay, so get that back. We'll bring that. Isn't there a hotkey for docking? Chrome, DevTools, docking, hotkey. Is there a hotkey? Windows, Control-Shift-D. Control-Shift-D. Ah, excellent. Portrait. Landscape. Portrait. So we are getting portrait. Wait, what? So at the moment I do this. Oh, because I haven't done a layout for that. So it needs to run the regular resize. Oh, I need to talk to them about what to do for portrait layouts. Okay, I think I can ignore that for now. I'm guessing they're assuming the students are going to use it only in in landscape layout. Okay, so I think we can ignore this for now and then just be happy that this works like that. There's some flashing of the layouts not getting loaded early enough. Like it's purple right now. So I have to figure out, we're doing a handle init here. Create, what does the create do? So we have a new this, then we have the API create call here. So if I do this, right? Yeah, purple, at the time purple happens, create hasn't happened yet. And create happens before new. So the purple is basically while it's still loading the resources. So if I don't disable the cache, yeah, there's still going to be a flash of purple, but there's not much I can do about that. All right, I'm not going to worry about that for now. It's janky as all hell. We need to, in the future, we need to have a hook to be able to do this before, like, you know, server-side rendering, ideally. Okay, all right. For now, we have a good foundation to do this, to do the changes to the layouts here. All right, let's go back to our arrangement here then. So let's kind of verify what we're doing so far. So 1 has only the normal tools. 2 has normal and center marks and nothing else. No other special. 3 has normal and corner marks. 4 has center and corner marks. 5 has center and corner marks and killer calculator. Okay, that's how far we're at. Let's do 6. So 6 adds 1 tool. So we'll do 6 here. And it's adding the colors, which I believe looks like that. So if I go to 6, it's kind of just broken. What? 1 second. The calculator is off, so we can just do default settings. But it doesn't work at all for some reason. What's the layout name here for 6? 6 layout name. Okay. 6 this dot start, and then load layout. Start. So const layout name equals boom. Const boom. Layout name project 9x9-6. What? We are in start. We have a layout name and handle in it. We're in start. And we never get to layout name. Does that mean I have some silly syntax error somewhere? Let's do this. Do we get to A? No. Do we get to A? No. Because I re-enabled caching. God damn it. Okay, all right. Ooh, got scared there for a second. Caching can be very nasty. All right, so layout 6, we have the color tool. Good, that works. Layout 6 with a color tool. Layout 7 with a color tool and the calculator. Okay. All right, we're back in business. I think maybe the class names we don't need. I thought I would need to customize them, but maybe what we'll do is we'll add both as a default class name. Where's the load layout here? So instead of doing, we'll just have a default class name here. And then we'll just add the layout name itself. Yeah, tell you what, let's move these onto the class, and then we can do things more easily. And then we'll just use the layout name instead of the layout data. So we're gonna move this up here. Right, we're gonna put this on C. Like that. We're gonna do this on C. And then we'll put this on C as well. And we'll capitalize them to represent the constants of these class constants. It's all just suggestive. All right, can get rid of these for now. And now what we're going to do is we're going to just pass in the layout name. Here we're just going to do layout name. Oops. Name. Layout name. Layout equals c dot layouts. Layout name. And then if layout if equals undefined, turn, and we'll just say that. I'll do something like that. And then here we'll just do load layout name. And then we can just do that and that and none of that. And start is literally just load layout name. So we can just do this instead of start. And then start is no longer happening. And I think that should work. The default settings. Yes. Do I need to add C dot here on these? Unfortunately. Or I just say, hey, if they're not there, just leave it. Just use the defaults. Boom. And then only if we want to change them, do we want to just add the changes? Maybe. So then we can just do that. Right. So we can just do this, and we don't even need that, or that, or that, or that. So now when we go to load layout here. So class name, we're just gonna have c.name. Was the class name project 9x9? No, I don't even remember. What style sheet is layout 9x9? Okay, so we'll just call it c.c C dot layout class name. Layout 9x9. And we'll put that under these. And then that goes here. Okay. What's next? Layout style sheet. Layout. We can put that at the top here. So what we're gonna do is here we're gonna pull things out. We're just gonna say const something equals layout, and the something will be style sheet, settings, controls, tools, all this stuff. Remove controls, and all this stuff, right? And then we can output these. And then we can add our default values here. And everything should work as expected, right? So style sheet will be c.default default style sheet, for example, if that's how I spelled it. So now style sheet is that. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do the same thing for the others. I'm gonna remind myself what the others were supposed to look like. So controls would be, let's do this. Controls would be an empty array, for example. I believe tools would be also an empty array. Remove controls would also be an empty array. Settings would be this. No, it would be c.default settings, and then we'll change maybe settings here to settings, extra settings, right? So we'll just call this extra settings. And then extra settings would be something like this, right? And then settings here, no. Let's see. No, I'm gonna just assume default settings, and then we're just gonna do settings equals object.assign see default settings or layout.settings like that, or undefined I believe is fine here. And then we'll just ignore settings here altogether. Right, now settings should also come through, and everything should be set as expected. So it'll be like this. And if we're gonna change them, so we said 7 would be like 6, but with calculator. So that'll be our 7. And then 8 would add the timer, the pen tool, and the letter tool. So 8 would add pen. Now letter is that a tool or a setting? Okay, and the timer would be an override on the default settings. So hide timer would be false, like that. And pen tool, letter tool, color pen. I don't think letter is considered a tool. Or am I wrong here? I'm not sure. Let's find it out. Let's find out together. So let's go to 7. Let's check that one. So that's killer cage and all 4. Now if we go to 8. Okay, so that breaks I'm not sure if letter is actually a tool rather than a setting. Is it created as a tool? Tool letter. Seems like it. Toggle tools, tool letter. Enable letter tool. Letter. Okay, so it breaks when we're trying to add tool letter. And that is not entirely a surprise if I got it all wrong. Add tool. If we go to add tool, and we'll figure out how that happens in the normal situation. So here we have a letter tool. Normal corner center, color, pen. So there's a letter tool getting added. Okay. If I look at the same sequence of events over here, add tool undefined. Project number 9. Set tools. Set tools. Ah, okay. I have them predefined here. So let's put these here as, I don't know, C.core tools. Okay, so here, we'll just replace this with C.core tools. Get rid of that here. Okay. And why does the pen tool, no, the pen tool doesn't work. Okay. So if we say pen and then tool pen and then the same for letter, is that enough? Is that all we need? Ah, almost. 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 So the button change, the size of this button changes because of which style? Tool, letter, tool, normal, controls, input button, data controls, delete. Okay. And over here, the reason it doesn't change is input, tools, normal. So the tools, the setting tool letter. It's probably the setting tool letter, so we probably just have to enable that. So if we'll say tool letter true. Aha, no, that's the wrong. No, that looks fine. Okay, so I'll probably have to double check with Clemson about the subsettings that are associated with that. Okay, but this is going okay so far. Don't know. When did I comment that out? Okay, so that probably shouldn't be commented out. Okay, then if we go change that, get rid of that, get rid of that file change, right? All right, there's probably some tweaking necessary for the exact sizes and all that. But so far, this seems to be working as we want, I believe. I didn't have to change anything else except for this feature, which is kind of the hope in the long run. So this we don't need at all now. Load layout. Let's get param layout. So I don't think we need to do this check. We can just call it, and then when we hit here, that'll be it. So we can just do this and don't even need these. And we don't actually need that either. Load layout, ignoring event localhost, project number 97. If we go here, layout not found. I think we'll just silently stop. That's for debugging, that makes sense, but we don't actually need that. Okay. Now, we just gotta get rid of some of this logging. Early init. So the handle early init does what exactly? Local data prefix. Yeah. Let's see if we can make a function that tells us if we have a valid layout. Get parent layout, get layout. So, set tools. Yeah, no, we'll put that here. And then P is valid layout. What the heck? What was that? And then we'll basically just do what we were doing in load layout. We'll do this and that. So we just return, and then we don't even need that. So we'll just say layout 9 becomes a function if it's valid, if it's not equal to undefined. Right? And we'll do the same here. Right. And in handle early init, we're actually going to do this quickly. And we'll output the result of the is valid layout check as well. Boom. So if I do this and run that, get terminated nulls, is valid layout false, is valid layout true. Okay. So now we're just gonna say is valid layout instead of this regex on layout name. Okay. And then here we'll also use this valid layout. So if not this dot is valid layout, layout name, return. Only then do we do this whole thing here. And then we'll do these here. Do we use layout anywhere here? What if I do settings, layout settings like this, and then settings is just layout settings that, and then I don't need layout anywhere, and I can get rid of that. I'll just put that there, and then we just have that. And then we have the default setup. We have our style sheet here. And we also want to do layout name here. Now, do we want to clean this up? Because it would be interesting to be able to change the layout. So for example, let's go to 1, right? And if I do framework dot features dot project 9x9 dot load layout, and then I'll just say project 9x9-8. Like if I could do that, that would be actually kind of cool. Which means we kind of need to clean these up. So we'll probably want to have a clear layout. Something like that. I don't think that needs to be async. Right, so if I say just clear layout, and we'll just do this dot clear layout. And I'll just output this for now. Because there's other things than there's the class list, but that's one thing we at least can do. And then if I do this, we get that. Right, and we'll do, can I class list toggle multiple things? Ambient token list. Can I toggle a bunch of different, like, can I toggle an array, for example? Toggle, string token want to toggle, remove. The remove method of the and the remove specific tokens from the list. So remove is like toggle true. Okay, and if I say add, adds the given token to the list, omitting any that are already present. Okay, so instead of toggle here, we can just say add, and I can add 2, right? And then we can remove, and we can remove c.layouts, so we can remove object.keys. Boom. I'm gonna do this. And we'll do that before, we'll do it after, and we'll also output this monstrosity here. What does that look like? Don't token list, yada, yada, yada. Remove, yada, yada, yada. Okay. That gets us all of these. And if I do this, we'll start with this, we end up with this. And then afterwards, we'll add in, I guess, whatever we needed to add in. If I do that, we have these here. We get rid of them, but at the end, we have the correct one. Okay, so that works. That's good. And that's actually using, slightly more correct syntax and all that stuff. We're not really resetting all the other stuff, so for now, but in theory, we should at least be able to switch between these. But it doesn't, does it not toggle the tools correctly? Do I set tools? How does set tools work? Wait, we went from that. Oh, I think it's because the default settings do not explicitly disable the things that I'm enabling, right? So these need to be in the defaults, but in the negative, basically. So So if I go into default settings here, I think some of them are here, but not tool letter. So tool calculator is there as false. Height timer is there as a true. But tool letter... No, tool letter is there. So this styling shouldn't be like that anymore. Ah, wait, but the letter tool doesn't get toggled off either. I think I'm not handling the tools well. Change tool, default tool, tools, add tool, remove tool, remove tool name. Okay, remove tool and add tool here. We wanna see what's happening in here. So remove tool. We'll take a look here and add tool as well. Right. And then remove control button. How do I know which tools are there? If I do this, app.tools, tools. If I do this here and here, what does that look like? So if I now do this, load layout, okay. If I do this, we're adding a bunch of tools. And if I go back to here, are we removing tools? So removing tool letter, then we're executing refresh layout, but the letter tool wasn't removed. So if I do framework.remove tool letter, if I do framework.show settings, and then I'll say letter tool off, on, off, remove tool, remove tool pen, remove tool letter, remove tool letter. Where's the one where the letter gets added for the first time? So we want to go from 8 to 7. So if we go to 8, right, and then we'll go to, we need this history here. And then we'll just load layout 7. So it removed the pen. We did. You can see the letter tool removal. So if I do this, load layout, boom. This doesn't get changed. And the styling for this is... No, that is changed correctly, but this button hasn't been removed. Okay, why is that? And we could potentially do this smarter by not removing tools that are already there. The remove tool call looked how? Remove tool here. So if I do remove tool letter, that doesn't work. Okay, wait a second. So in the letter tool, we're listening to changes to the settings. And when I toggle the setting, the tool disappears correctly. So, we are listening to toggle, make toggler, tool letter, make tool toggler. So the make the tool toggler, add tool, remove tool. So that's all it's supposed to do. It's supposed to just execute remove tool. Why does it work so well? Why does it work so well? Okay, so if I open the settings and I toggle the tools here, it just works. So if I go now and say remove tool letter, so that works. Works. That works. Wait a second. Here, remove tool is trying to remove the object rather than the name. Wait a second. Huh? So normalize tools, remove tools, remove tool name, name tool names. Is it a problem here? Color pen. It's not in tool names. Wait a second. Why is it not in tool names? What? Oh, I have this open in production as well. This is gonna be terrible. Am I looking at production here? Maybe get tool names is not correct here. Get tool names is a is incomplete. Shoot. Okay. That is not the right thing to do here. Add tool button. Add tool. It is not in the list of get tool names because it isn't one of these, but it is a tool I have to remove via the remove tool thing. So I could probably just make this a hard-coded list, and because I always need to just remove them all, right? So if I say something like set tools, tool names, that, right? And if I do core tools, object.keys, c.core tools, like if I do this, and then here, I'll get rid of the spam. Now we refresh this. And letter. And if we say do this, that gets added. I think removing a tool that doesn't exist isn't harmful. I think. So let's do f dot here, get rid of the warn, make that an info, slightly less spammy. And now, if remove tool, so remove tool, so if I do this, clear it all up, if I do this here, we're getting app.remove tool center corner color pen. Now, if we do framework.remove tool letter, app remove tool letter, I guess that just doesn't do anything, but it also doesn't work. Framework.set setting. And what's the relevant setting? 2-letter. False. 2-letter. True. 2-letter. False. I feel there's still some toggly magic going on. Maybe with enable, disable. Handle tool, enter, handle tool, handle toggle. Handle toggle. It still doesn't explain why tool letter false doesn't take care of that. Framework set setting. If I look at this, because that should be equivalent, like when we're changing the layout here, this should be equivalent to toggling the setting, because we're toggling the setting as well. 2-letter false. Why does it work here, but it doesn't work here? Maybe the settings need to be toggled before I mess with the... We are doing this with the settings first. Let's make a test setting that only does this one thing. The thing is, I'm not doing a diff. I'm toggling things that don't need toggling. If we ignore the tools and controls for a sec here, right? So if I do this, and then I'll change it to... Actually, if I just do this right now, it works at this point. It doesn't work anymore after I call it again. These buttons are all weird. Wait a second. So here? Okay, so here it works. Okay, we do this. Here it works. And if I do this, it doesn't work. Holy moly, why? Await, sleep 100. $2,000. Is there some timing issue? Now we're getting to here. Wait a second. So by the time we get to sleep, it's correct, and then it becomes incorrect afterwards. 1, 2. So after sleep, set tools. Wait, what? We're loading layout, we're loading 7. 7 doesn't have the letter tool in it. Okay, wait, that's wrong. After sleep. That's weird. Okay, let's just change this. After the sleep, all of this happens. Controls, settings. There's no... Okay, but wait, I was just listing these. All right, so add tool, corner, center, color, two-letter false. At no point here should the letter tool get added back in. Okay, after sleep 1, after sleep 2, after sleep 3. I'm gonna have to make them a little bit smaller, otherwise I'll go nuts. And whoops, to sleep 4. So unfortunately we're gonna have to wait 4 seconds now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Now if we're doing this, it's correct. After sleep 1 it's incorrect. So between sleep 1 and sleep 2 it's incorrect. So we don't even need these. Good, good, good. So set tools makes it incorrect. So what the heck am I doing wrong in set tools? So change tool, default tool. Okay, let's output some actually valuable stuff. So default tool, normalize tools. We also want to output tools here. Is that just a list? Change tool and current tool. So if I do this, right, we have 2 sleeps. And if I change it, sleep 1, sleep 2. So between sleep 1 and sleep 2, it's broken. No, after sleep 1 it's good. After sleep 2 it's broken. And after sleep 2... No, wait. I'm confusing myself now. After sleep 1 it's correct. No, after sleep 1 it's incorrect. Wait, after sleep 1... Yes, but before sleep 1 it's correct. Sure. Okay. So it's actually... It becomes incorrect in here. No, it becomes incorrect over here. So it becomes incorrect in set tools. Okay. So we don't care after sleep 2. We don't actually care about that. No, that's after sleep 1. After sleep 2 we don't care about. So after sleep 1, before sleep 1 it's correct, after sleep 1 it's incorrect, and it's basically incorrect immediately at set tools. Okay, set tools. My brain. It's almost 9. Set tools. Normal, remove center, remove tool corner, remove color, add tool color. Should we not remove the tools if they're not changing? Maybe. Remove tool pen, add tool. Log, add tool, name. Default tool normal, current tool normal. Okay, so let's go in here. We're in this situation. This is correct. After sleep 1, it comes incorrect immediately. Default tool normal, current tool normal. We're adding center corner color. Set setting 2-letter false. Where is... Okay, where is 2-letter getting enabled here? toolletter.handle toggle, toolletter.enable, toolletter. It's got to be one of these, right? These are the ones that are actually putting the button there. So if I do this, after sleep 1, toolletter enable is happening here. Why? Oh, no. Wait, what? What? Tool enter happens. Tool enter happens. Oh my god, and I haven't actually done the thing that removes that particular tool. Because I haven't switched this to using the official list. Oh, god darn it. All right. I think if we change this to core tools object.keys, I've never actually made this change, which was supposed to fix this problem. Okay, so if I clear this now and I do this. Okay, so that's the fix, I think. Now, if we get rid of the sleep, we can probably test this much more effectively as well. Let's get rid of all these. Okay, so now do this, and I switch it to this layout, it just works. And if I switch it to this, that works. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. So we could potentially even change the layout as part of the puzzle, maybe? I don't know. I don't actually know if that's necessary or useful. Okay, let us clear out these debug logs. Let's make sure we don't clear anything we want to keep. I think this has also debug logs in here. And also this. Cool. And now it's not going to be super spammy. 392. That should be fine as well. Okay. Refresh layout has a log in it that we probably don't need anymore. At least not for now. We have load layout. That's the only log we have. Okay. Does that happen here? Yes. So let us actually just comment this out for now. Okay. And that is still broken. Ow. I don't even know how that would work. So on the button, we have this icon. And this icon is 24 by 24 pixels. Sorry, 24 by 24 units. But it's supposed to be 3 rem, right? It's almost like a CSS bug. No, it's indeterminate as well. Are you kidding me? Toggling 1 fixes it for all. Why? Wouldn't that also apply to this? It doesn't seem to be happening here. God damn it. What if I come here and I do the layout loader here. Because we don't have a like complete clear. Problem is I don't know when this happens. I mean, we have time to debug. All right, I think I'm gonna make this available for testing for now. Let me double check. Fix -1 styling. Okay, yeah, I think that one is correct. That we homogenize that. Positioning on window resize we don't actually care for at the moment because we just don't have that layout. So we don't actually need to do those. Did I have layout parameter? Let me just have a look. Yeah, we want to be able to change them via puzzle metadata. I'll go into that in a second. Let's double check all the default settings here. So if we go into one of these, right, let us also clear all the settings. So if I delete all these and refresh, refresh here. All right, and then I'll do framework.show settings. Boom. Let's see. So I'm gonna compare it to these screenshots. So visual, large digits off, keypad flipped off, hide colors off, hide timer on, dash grids off, outline elements off, draw arrows above lines off, show row columns off, hide background image off, replacement off, automation off, constraint to learn off. Okay. Gameplay. Don't pause the start off. Okay, that's the one I changed for my own sanity. So we change that back. Don't pause on start. We'll default it to false. Check on finish on. Mark solved digits on. Which setting is that? Mark solved digits. Is it literally mark solved digits? Mark solved digits. We want it on. I don't know why it's off right now. On. Probably because I'm looking at the wrong settings. Mark solved digits. If I would make this gradual. Frame dot get setting gradual on. Okay, so let's change this to on.